Hey, it is Mike. I am back and I'm ready to do some more Krishna stuff. What do we got here? We got Travis. Hey, hey man, how you doing? Great to see you here. I got a lot of great stuff. I got some knitting cult lady. I got some other cult stuff. I got justice for little girls. I got and then I got a bunch of videos. So I got a lot of videos from Rafal to check out. So I got a lot of stuff going on. So I want to get right to the opening. So let's get right to this. Here we go. Bam. Right.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. So, yeah, speaking of Gorahari there, let's check out a little bit of that, right? Let's just let's get warmed up. Hey, it's Snoggle. Good to see you here, and howdy to you and Tim. Good to see you here, man. Awesome, and so I think we're gonna start off just to get warmed up a little bit because it's like we want to have a good time.
Just
right?
what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to be free to ride. And we want to be free to ride our machines without being hassled by the man. And we want to get loaded.
We want
to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do.
Well, when, baby? Let's go.
Yeah, that's what we're
We're
gonna
going to have a
do.
good time.
We're gonna have a good time.
We're going to have a party.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna laugh. Yeah, we got super white Hindus. Absolutely. I got a lot of stuff. I was gonna do. I got a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna stick with this. I got some other stuff I want to do. What do we got? We got Bhakta Tom. Well, Bhakta Tom, before you can before you got to join in, you got to tell us who your guru is and when you're initiated. That's a new rule. That's Mike's new rule. Before you come in here with that, before you get recognized, you have to tell us who your guru is. You have to tell us who your guru is and when you were initiated. And what do we got? We got Ghana 6781. Good to see you. Bonjour. And we got Weird Planet. Good to see you here. And we are ready to go. So we're gonna get warmed up with a little bit, just a little taste, a little taste. Let's get a little taste of it.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Hare Hare, Gauranga, Gauranga.
Rama, Rama, Hare.
Nityananda, Nityananda, all glories to Nityananda. Hare Krishna. Vinaya Kastamaya, all glories to Rakshit Maharaj. And the time. Little by little more. Deeper.
All right, yeah. So those are the wackos. But every Hare Krishna and their guru is wacky like that because they're all thinking the same. They're all listening to the same crap. They're all falling for the same scam, and yeah, they all belong straight into the madness. Straight into the madness. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Hey, Queen of Karma, man. I'm so glad you're here. Because you're like the cult lady, you know. You're like our cult lady. Straight into the man. Yeah, we just jumped right in. We just like jumped right in to the crazy. We just I know. Well, no, they're just but that's the thing, is they're just pretending. They're just pretending. I mean, do you really think that they are overcome with some ecstatic feelings? I mean, do you really think that? I mean, do you really think that? Hey, Jenna Morton. Yeah. Liana, how you doing? It's good to see you, man. But anyway, before we get into that whole mental asylum, Trey Martin, I know. Hey, man. Okay, you twisted my arm. You twisted my arm.
Chant Hare Krishna mantra for millions of lifetimes and not experience the prema bhakti that the residents of Vrindavan have. Millions of lifetimes. And that's what I've seen, you know, in this lifetime, after 40, 50 years, even the teachers, the gurus, they don't really chanting like.
I'm Gora Hoodie. I am Gora Hoodie. I'm Gora Hoodie Das. Because, you know, if people come in here and they just don't understand the transcendental message of Mike. And so because they're not connected to the transcendental message of Mike, they don't get it. And that way they're just stuck in this cult. They're stuck in this cult. So they really need to connect to the scam pradaya. And that way we go all the way back to this imaginary line of deprogrammers. This is friggin' insanity, these people. Friggin' insanity. Okay. We got the guru, the laughing gas. We got hot lips, and some guy who's stuck in 1940s England. Yeah, I know. Okay, so it starts with wacko guru, goes right to the wacko. Yeah, you know, well, that's what they're there for. They're there to learn from this wacko. And they're learning how to be a blithering idiot. I don't know what else to say, but it's pretty funny. I gotta say, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
The whole world gone crazy. Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Okay, so first I want to get to I want to get to this thing about oh my goodness. Okay. Let's get right into knitting cult lady, because all you Hare Krishnas that are watching now, you really got to learn, as I've said many times, you really got to learn that you're in a cult. You're not in some 5,000-year-old ancient tradition, Vedic culture, Vedic system, Varnashram. That's all a bunch of bullshit. And I hate to be the one to break it to you, but you know, it's the truth. That's all a bunch of nonsense. It really is. You're in a cult, and that's what it's all about. It's coming to grips with the fact that you're in a cult. You've been scammed. You've been bamboozled. I was in it for 20 years. Most of the people in this chat were in it and bamboozled in some way or another. But we woke up and we got out. And you really need to understand. You need to try to open up and understand. You found this video. You found this platform here where we're all talking. We're all getting together. So now this is where you can actually learn. You can actually learn something. Okay. So this is a really good video from the knitting cult lady. She's not the knitting cult lady, just knitting cult lady. Yeah, I'm Gora. I'm Gora. I'm Gora Hoodie. I'm Gora Hoodie. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate the kind words, man. Absolutely. Hey, probably nuts. Great to see you. Great to have you here, man. Great to see you. Okay, and yeah. So we got Bhakta Tom. Hopefully, he's going to learn. Bhakta Tom and maybe some others. I know there's a bunch of people here. All of a sudden, are going to learn something. So here, you're going to learn about cults right now from a very wise cult lady. Yeah, that's not really the point of this live stream. First, you got to learn. We can talk about that later. We'll talk about that in a minute if you want. But right now we got to get the cult stuff out of the way. Then we'll get to the Krishna stuff. Hey, how you doing, Dahlia Roberts? Good to see you. I look like a Catholic monk. Yeah, I'm a punk to flunk to monk, back to flunk. That's what I am. Okay, here we go. Here we go with the knitting cult lady. Oops.
Okay, this video is to answer a question from Dana. Dana's my talent manager's cousin, and she wants to know in regards to the cult endgame, right? The cult being an endgame, kind of falling apart, something which I have predicted / explained that MAGA has been doing since Felon 47 got in office this time around. And Dana very perceptively asks, is there a place in the end game, a point in the end game where everyone just like up and bails? Also, Dana, looking forward to seeing you at our event in Hollywood. Check it out if you're around, March 31st. So the unfortunate answer is like not always, right? Certainly not with something as big as we might be talking about with MAGA. Okay, but then sometimes it happens. So one of my favorite scholars, Dr. Janja Lalich, that's Janja Lalich, she was in a left-wing political cult in the 60s, 70s time-ish, and they kind of rose up at some point and took down their cult leader, right? And we're just like, no, this is bad. We're done. And took the cult apart. And I have heard of that happening when people kind of like build a toxic group on accident and or it's just too obvious and people are like, no, we're not doing this. But that's more rare, I think. Usually, there's another thing that happens. My context for this, I'm Danielle, a scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. I grew up in the Children of God. So the Children of God is one of these cults that kind of fell apart. We have coined two important terms: Children of God survivors, cult babies, kids born and raised in the cult, and never lefters, because our cult kind of went strong for 40 years. And then in 2009, just over a decade after the original founder's death, it kind of falls apart. And the way cults tend to end without some large co-located conflagration is when they fail to keep or recruit the next generation. And I think this is good news, by the way. I don't think any of these big OG cults are keeping or recruiting the next generation right now.
So she says, yeah. So hold on. Dragging. No, sorry, I'm not here. I'm not here to please you, Tom. But I'm sorry. Okay. Christianity is a cult too. Okay, I agree with you. Now what? Now where do we go? I'm talking about this cult. I'm talking about this cult and its pedophilia and its child marriage and the fact that if you're in it, you don't want to get out of it. So that's what I'm talking about. And the fact that you want to bring up Christianity means that you don't understand that you're really in a cult. That's just more of the same. That's just more of the same. I mean, that's I don't know what to tell you, but that's what a cult member would say. A cult member would say, well, what about this and what about that? Come on, cult freaks, bring your Vedic challenge. Yeah, we got someone here that can actually answer your questions. Queen of Karma. Yes, our beautiful anti-cult queen, Dr. Jane. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love all you guys, all the cult experts, because I'm no scholar. I haven't written any books, but I'm an expert on this Krishna cult. I know that, and that's why I like it when other cult experts, take a look at Hare Krishna, because I don't feel it gets a good enough look, a hard enough look. It really doesn't. I don't, and it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous and it should not be getting a pass. It should not be getting a pass. And you got too many people like Bhakta Tom and all these other people that come in here and they don't realize. They have no clue. They took the bait. They got hooked before they even realized what was happening. And that's the dangerous part. And then once that shit gets in their head, it's too late. Just like that Tarun Govindadas. You can't even see how he's talking. He thinks he's a holy man. He thinks he's this and that, and he's just talking like just every other friggin' cult member of every other friggin' cult. But they think they're like, oh no. It's crazy. Yeah, she's really good. I mean, she's really good. I like it. Christianity is a worldview, and there are Christian cults. I mean, there's a lot, like that Westboro Baptist thing. That's a cult. That's no different than ISKCON. That's just, there are Christian cults. Absolutely, Jonestown, Reverend Moon. There's a lot of cults. There's a lot of cults there's cults in every religion. I mean, cults usually, and if they don't have a religion or a message, a transcendental message or a transcendent message, they make up theirs, like Scientology or the Mormon. It's not. That's why these Hare Krishnas, they don't understand. They don't understand that what they're in is no different than all these other cults. They think it's different because they, like I said, they took the bait, got hooked, they swallowed the hook, line and sinker, and they're done. And they're done. I know Steve Hassan has also discussed Hare Krishna as a cult, or king of cults. I've watched some of his things about Hare Krishna, and he doesn't get how dangerous. He recognizes it as a cult, but he doesn't recognize how dangerous it is, how extremely the way we have. He hasn't. I've watched his videos. I'm very much aware of him, and he's interviewed Hare Krishnas, but he's really very, very soft on them. That's my opinion. He's very soft, but he does recognize that they're a cult. So, I don't want to criticize him too much, but there are many cults for sure, but you're on the right. But are you on the right cult? However, they are not as controlling, oppressive, and abusive as the Hare Krishna cult. I can guarantee you that. Yeah, but see, when the thing is, when people say Christianity is this, Christianity is that, what are you talking about? What are they talking about? Are they talking about this, Catholicism? Are they talking about the Roman Catholic Church? Are they talking about the Eastern Orthodox Church? Are they talking about evangelical Christians? Are they talking about Pentecostal? Are they talking about Episcopalians? Are they talking about the people with the snakes? Are they talking about the people that talk in languages? I mean, what are they talking about? Because some of those things are cults. A lot of those are heavy-duty cults. There's absolutely no doubt about it. If you're talking to a snake or you're speaking in some wacky language, and that's not normal stuff. That's not normal stuff.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, like, I dedicate my time to speaking out about all cults because we aren't fighting beliefs, we're fighting coercive control, which they all use. Absolutely. If you're speaking out about one cult, like I can't speak out about, I can speak out against Scientology and say, hey, Scientology is just like Hare Krishna. And I can say Scientology is dangerous and it's harmful, but I was never in it. So I can't speak from experience, and I can't speak from experience on any other cult except for those multi-level marketing cults that I've been involved with. So, but the practices and all the coercive control is all the same. So I'm speaking out about Hare Krishna, but what I'm saying applies to Scientology. It applies to it applies to all of these cults. It even applies to these multi-level marketing. And you know as well as I do that they all use the same type of control. Okay, so I want to show you these guys because this is more about he's talking about, and this is the thing. A lot of these cult people are talking about MAGAs, and they're talking about Trump and the cult of MAGA because cult experts can see that it's a cult. It's not it's not it's not just just people just being pissed or being bitter or exaggerating or over exaggerating or being whatever. They can see the symptoms. They can see exactly what's going on. But again, it applies. This applies to Hare Krishna. This absolutely applies to Hare Krishna, and that's why I want to show this video. And because it applies to Hare Krishna, it applies to every cult and MAGA too. It just pick a cult. Okay, you want to apply this stuff to Christianity? Go right ahead. It applies if you want it to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Devoted to Trump that they'll defend anything he does. He's protecting predators and pedophiles. He's plainly using the government to enrich himself and the billionaire Epstein class. ICE agents killed 2 people in the streets on camera. He wants a federal takeover of elections so the MAGA monarchy can live on after he's gone. And the MAGA cult ignores it, defends it, or they say they don't know anything about it.
And that is exactly what these Hare Krishnas do. They know that people have been murdered in this cult. They know these gurus are bogus and have fallen down and with little kids, pedophilia, domestic abuse, child marriage, suicides. They know all this stuff, but they stick right in there. They're not leaving. They don't care. They're not going to leave. Hold on. Here we go.
Defends it, or they say they don't know anything about it. This is by far the largest, most effective, and most pervasive political cult in the history of the United States. If you want to understand why your family chooses Trump over you, why your friends and coworkers make excuses for him, and why facts and evidence just don't get through, you need to understand how cults work. Here are 4 psychological reasons that people stay in the MAGA cult, even when the disgusting reality is staring them right in the face. Number 1, if they leave the cult, they will literally lose their identity. They will lose their sense of self and who they are. They won't know who to trust. They won't know where they belong. People in cults identify so strongly with the leader and beliefs that they fuse their own identity with the cult identity. This is,
and that is a big thing with the Hare Krishnas because they're so into this whole cosplaying that their whole life revolves around this cosplaying. for the last year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, however many years, their whole life has been this cosplaying. This is like I was saying, these guys that go out and they do these medieval wars and they pretend like they're knights. You know, can you imagine if they were doing that every day of their life for 10 years thinking it was real? And that was their whole identity, was he was Sir whatever and King whatever and Sir whatever. And all of a sudden they said, hey, we're not doing this anymore. There's people be like, what am I going to do with my life? Because my whole identity was being, Sir Lancelot or King Arthur or whatever. And now they're just Joe. And I know how that feels because that's what I went through. That's what we all went through. But I wasn't Sri Mukunda anymore. I wasn't on this spiritual path anymore. I wasn't following these rules and regulations to make me feel like I was doing something. I was just back to being Mike. And that was a hard thing when my whole identity for 20 years was revolved around this cult, shaving my head and what I was wearing and what I was eating and putting the shit on my face and beads around my neck and how many times I was chanting and all of this stuff. That's traumatic in itself because you think you're doing that for some reason. For some important reason, like you're becoming a better person. If you only knew the truth. If I only knew the truth. I'm but that's a big reason why people don't leave. And that's one of the reasons why this Bhakta Tom is not leaving. And a lot of these people, what is this guy saying? Nothing like timing out somebody who you don't want to debate with. You call yourself a teacher. I'm no teacher, dude. I'm no teacher. I ain't here to teach you something. I'm here to talk about cults. You want to talk about cults? I said I ain't no scholar. I ain't no teacher. You're the one that wants to thinks that everybody's a teacher and everybody's a scholar, and everybody's a guru. Their friggin' brains are fucking fried, man. Their brains are fried. And like I'm supposed to stop what I'm doing to talk to this freak. I'm supposed to stop what I'm doing to talk to some pedo freak. It's we just decide if it's a high control group or a healthy community. If it isn't healthy, then it can be high control or a cult, but we prefer not to grade them from the least to the most culty. Yeah, different cult experts, there's no standard way of, like Stephen Hassan's got his BITE model, which is like behavior, information, something, and I don't know, there's 4 and I only got 2, but it's the BITE model, right? It's behavior, information, something, and something. And then, but I like knitting cult ladies, her 10 things. And if you can check off all 10, it's definitely a cult. But the more you check off, it's not like you got to have all 10. Because there's like you said, there's degrees to this, and but like she says, anytime people are being exploited for their labor, free labor, exploiting their labor, and they're doing it willingly, voluntarily, turning over so that they can be exploited voluntarily. That's a cult. And then you just build on top of that. So all you gotta do is like look at who's being exploited and how. And it becomes really easy. It becomes really easy. What is this? Yeah, Stephen does try to be very caring with the members, but yes, I think most people don't realize how dangerous this one is. 100%, they don't. It's been normalized. It's been normalized against all odds. They kind of won the PR. They won the PR war, and I don't care. I don't care. It's a cult. I don't care. It's a cult. and it's everything about it is a cult, and it doesn't take a knitting cult lady to see it, you know. Although she sees it too. It's just yeah, a lot of, you know, because Hare Krishna has been around, and they investigated back in the 60s and 70s. I mean, yeah, you know, it's a long time ago. It was already they had their scandals back in the early 70s. They had their brainwashing court cases. They had their controversies. They had all of that stuff. They've had all of that stuff. By 1979, they'd already had every kind of scandal they could have. So that's why I say, like, they've won. They weathered that. They weathered all of those scandals, and even in '86 there was even more with the guy getting shot and all these other gurus, and it's snowballed. But somehow somehow they get overlooked. Yeah, they've been calling it a cult since 1970. They've been calling it a cult since 1966. They've been calling it a cult for 1966. So I don't want to get caught up. I don't want to get caught up in all of these. Hey, Rafal, good to see you. Good to see you here. Yeah, I don't want to get into this whole MAGA thing. But what I want to do is I'm trying to look through if there's anybody who thinks I'm avoiding them, because I'm not. So I'm trying to just get through here to see if I missed anybody, because I really don't. I don't want people to think I'm. Yeah. That's why there's so many different cult experts, and they all have different ways of recognizing a cult, and they all have their and they all have their good points. They all have their good points, and I think Knitting Cult Lady has the best. That's all I'm saying. I think she's got the best. So I want to show you one more that she's got, and this is a really good one. Okay, I want to show you this one, and I hope there's some Hare Krishnas still in here watching, because this is really good. You can learn a lot about cults, and then you won't be so argumentative with me, because you don't understand that this is a cult that I'm talking about. You gotta kind of. I know it's hard. I know it's hard for a cult member. I know it's hard for you cult members out there, but I'm Gora Hoodie, okay? I'm Gora Hoodie, and I'm trying to tell you that you gotta get, you gotta get it, man. You gotta get it, man. It's not hard to understand, man. You just gotta surrender to Gora Hoodie. You gotta surrender to the bona fide Gora Hoodie, and then you'll get the mercy. You'll get the mercy, man. The mercy will just flow. It just flows. Like Lord Chaitanya said, it comes from the spiritual world. It comes down through the Sampradaya, through the disciplic succession, and it comes right down, and then it goes through Prabhupada, and then it kind of jumbles around, and then I dream, and then he comes to me in a dream, and then here I am. I'm Gora Hoodie. So you gotta you gotta figure it out, okay? You gotta Hey, Liam, I was told by many current Pioneer Prabhupada disciples, children devotees, that this is a cult. They all know it. Well, that was what the one was saying, that you can't keep a cult going unless you can get the second generation going, the children. And they have not been able to keep the children. And because they haven't been able to keep the children, they do a lot of preaching to other children so they can bring children in. Because they got to get children in. So that's why they do a lot of preaching to children, because they can't keep their own children in this cult. they just can't keep their own children in the cult. I also just started talking about leaderless cults, so that's when a belief system traps you. Yeah, well, even MAGA, because Trump doesn't give instructions, but what he allows does. Yeah, well, you know, if you watch Knitting Cult Lady, she explains it so well. With the cult, you have your cult leader, and then you have your transcendent message. Absolutely. And yes, Prabhupada said Chaitanya cult. And hey, Dusk Within, great to see you back, man. Awesome. So, yeah, cult leaders are similar to dictators. Absolutely, they're authoritarians. They rule. Nityananda. It's Chaitanya. Yeah, make sure you say it right, okay? Yeah, like it's Chaitanya, okay? It's chai, not chai. We're not drinking chai, although that sounds good. But we're not drinking chai. It's Chaitanya. So hey, listen, this is what she's talking about. She's talking about that exactly what we're talking about. And here she comes.
Today for Devotions with Daniela, we are reading the second book of Daniela, The Culting of America. This is the chapter on distinguishable vernacular, when cults have their own language. This section is part of The Power of Language. And that's the real genius of it. A charismatic leader's power doesn't come from magic or God. It comes from language. Amanda Montell explains that cult jargon creates community, but also shuts down critical thinking. Certain phrases act as mental roadblocks that stop members from questioning the group's ideology. Mormonism has put it on a shelf. If something about the faith doesn't make sense, don't think too hard about it. Just set it aside for later. Scientology has thought-stopping techniques where members are trained to immediately counter doubts with approved phrases. MLMs say winners never quit, so leaving doesn't mean the system was flawed. It means you failed. As we learned in Chapter 3, Derek Black helped build
See, and that's what I mean. Like, she could be saying that about Hare Krishna. She could be saying that you're an operati. If you question Prabhupada or question anything, you're an operati. If you read something in the books that you don't understand, just keep reading. You'll understand it. It just hasn't been revealed to you. You're not submissive. You haven't surrendered enough. You're not chanting enough. All these thought-stopping techniques, it's the same. And if she knew how Hare Krishna uses them and how they apply, she would mention them. If you failed, if it doesn't work, you blooped. Maya, you fell for Maya's trap, or you went back into the material world. It's your fault. It's karma. It's Kali Yuga. Again, you weren't surrendered. You weren't this or that. You didn't swaha. You didn't swaha correctly. It's next time I go to India, I'm trying the chai. Definitely try the chai. That's good. Here we go.
As we learned in Chapter 3, Derek Black helped build Stormfront.org, where he normalized white genocide and reverse racism, knowing that if you control the language, you control the way people think. Stormfront is the alt-nationalist, like white nationalist website, all right? And it worked. Those words spread, warped conversations.
So just think how this Tarun Govindadas is able to, because of listening to Prabhupada talk, he's able to just attack a Dagmar or feel no remorse, feel no anything, talk so harshly victim shame, victim blame. Like just so they learn this. It comes so easily to these cult members that they can do that with no second thought. It's disgusting, because the power of Prabhupada's language with his well, it's karma, it's offense, it's this, it's that, it's the holy name, and so many things, ancient tradition, Kali Yuga, offenses, Maya.
Far beyond their original audience and made it to the mainstream. Political leaders, religious extremists, and influencers, everyone from Adolf Hitler to Donald Trump to Gwyneth Paltrow, knows that language sells. Trump trademarked the phrase, "Make America Great Again," even though Reagan said it first, because he understood what made it work. History is filled with examples of words alone building entire ideologies. Religious texts shaped civilizations. Political slogans ignited revolutions. Hashtags spawned social movements. Hitler used speeches to manipulate nationalism into something monstrous. And in modern America, Trump, like every good authoritarian, does the same.
And Prabhupada did the same. When he gave these lectures, he was firing up this crowd, his little crowd, his audience, into like he was preaching to his little army, his little army of devotees that were going to go out and scam the public and get books and sell books and get money and whatever they had to do by hook or by crook, take advantage of people for him. Every lecture, everything he did was to motivate in a cult way, just like Jim Jones, motivate these guys to remain in the cult, shave their heads, act a fool, distribute his books, and in the meantime they get a 12-year-old bride, and basically they get to become little gods and they get to do whatever they want, which we'll get to in a minute. But all by the language this Prabhupada is using, the power of language.
An October 13, 2024 interview on the Fox News show Sunday Morning Futures, Trump called his political opponents, among other things, the enemy within. He didn't throw the words around for drama. With this single phrase, he floated the idea of using the military to deal with them on election day, should things not go his way. Also, he doesn't understand.
Prabhupada, this is one of the things I think a lot of people don't understand, the parallels. Prabhupada, he did a very similar thing back in his time. He said, the great sinister movement is within my movement, or within my whatever he said. He says there's a great sinister movement, which just meant if anything goes wrong, it's because there's these great forces, these evil forces. Yes, control the language, control the beliefs, control the people, and another swaha. Yeah, another swaha, swaha. I gotta get that.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, they say keep chanting and surrender more. All of us here are bloopers according to ISKCON's way of thinking. Yeah, they say we're bloopers, and that's more thought-stopping behavior, because if they can, that's shaming the people that are in. Like, you don't want to be like them. You don't want to be a blooper. You don't want to bloop. You don't want to go back into Maya like they did, like Mike and Weird Planet and Ghana and Prabhu Nuts and whoever and Fake Human and everybody, whoever. They don't want you. Don't be like them. Don't go back into Maya. They blooped. They're in illusion. They're in the material world. They're probably, and what do they say? They're like, oh, you know what they're doing? They're at the strip club, or they're in the opium den or whatever. They're in the crack house, and they're with hookers or whatever. And just they picture like we're all wandering around Skid Row. We're all wandering around Skid Row living in a tent because we're back in the material. That's what they want to make it seem like. That's what they want to think. It's so funny, right? Yeah, and then that message, the message, the transcendental message. But then that's how the cult can survive if once the cult of personality. The cult can start out as a cult of personality. This is what Knitting Cult Lady explains very well, is that it can start out as a cult of personality like the Mormons with Joseph Smith and Brigham Young, and then it turns into a cult, the mission. It's a cult of a mission, which is we're the one true church. We're the one true church. He's the one true guru. He's the one true liberator. This is the message, 10,000 year golden age. So, yeah, it's insane. Yeah. So yeah, we're not only bloopers. We're in the way. We're operatis. We're demons. We're criticizing. I'm criticizing Prabhupada. I'm calling him names. I'm calling him a pedophile. I'm calling all these gurus that think that they're pure devotees. I'm saying they're nothing but a bunch of cosplaying super Hindus and little Dickie Slavin and all of these guys. So we're like me. I'm the one saying it. I don't know if you guys are agreeing with me or not, but I know that you guys. I'm definitely. I'm worse than I didn't just bloop. In fact, I remember someone telling me. Like I'd been out for. See, I left in 2012, so it's probably around 14 or 15. 14 or 15. Somebody mentioned to me about. They said that I would be back. That I was. Oh no, not that I would be back. They said they told my roommate that was not a Hare Krishna, and then our other roommate was Vadiraj. So my roommate was Vadiraj, and then I moved my friend who wasn't a Hare Krishna in, and so he heard Vadiraj telling someone on the phone that Sri Mukunda was a Prabhupada hater, and that I hated Krishna and I hated Prabhupada. And I wasn't even doing video. I wasn't even doing videos at that time. I wasn't doing videos or live. I wasn't doing anything. I just left. But my roommate told me, my friend had told me that he said, "Oh yeah, William." His name, because he didn't want to go by Vadiraj anymore. He said, "Oh yeah, William said that you're a Prabhupada hater, and you hate Krishna and you hate Prabhupada." And I said, "Yeah, I guess." I said, "Yeah, I guess so." I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with that. Gayatri Malhotra, what is this? So every person who believes in something is a crazy cult, except for all you guys who are too smart. Is that what you're getting out of this? Is that what you're getting out of this? This is what. So you think you're intelligent. You're an intelligent person, and after what you've heard, that's the conclusion that you've come to. Really? That's the conclusion that you've come to. No one is being a hindrance to anyone's personal beliefs and practices, but ISKCON and the GBC is a cult and a very dangerous cult. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Hare Krishna is very much like a multi-level marketing. It's like Gayatri Malhotra Devi Dasi. We're exposing a very dangerous cult. You just listen to Mike and all of us and understand. Yeah. I know, get out of that crack house and leave those hookers alone. Okay, I want to get back to I want to get back to this, back to knitting call lady here. Let's see.
The enemy within. He didn't throw the words around for drama. With this single phrase, he floated the idea of using the military to deal with them on election day, should things not go his way. Also, he doesn't understand our military, not even how big it is. In February 2025, he posted these words from Napoleon on his personal X and Truth Social accounts. He who saves his country does not violate any law. Clearly implying he is above the law and should it try to curtail his powers by stopping him from doing anything unconstitutional. This isn't just tough talk or catnip for the media, as the White House claimed. It's a deliberate strategy. Margaret Singer, not Margaret Sanger, warned us about this a decade ago. Orwell, 1984, was perhaps the first to note that language, not physical force, is key to manipulating minds. In fact, growing evidence in the behavioral sciences reveals that a smiling big brother has greater power to influence an individual's thought and decision-making process than does a visibly threatening person. Amanda Montell adds that Jim Jones understood this better than anyone. His power lay in his words, not his ideas. He could charm people and speak people into submission, a talent he'd been honing since childhood. And doesn't that apply to nearly every U.S. president we have recordings of? Every dictator?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. I think someone was asking a few nights ago about why these books work so well and how these books can convince these people and how they get so brainwashed. And I was explaining like this guru stuff, this guru worship, and this Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and this brainwashing, and this worshiping the guru as God, and and through the Vedas and the Vedic scriptures and the 5,000-year-old, all that brainwashing and bullshit stuff has been. They've been working that for hundreds of years. These gurus have been working on this to figure out what works, what doesn't, and honing it down, and who's good at it and who's not good at it. And Prabhupada was working this stuff. Just like she said, Jim Jones realized that he could talk, and he was a smooth talker and whatever, but when he was really young, since he was a child probably. I remember when I'm not saying like that, but I remember when I was a little kid, the first time I told a joke at the dinner table, and everybody started laughing. I mean, my whole family just broke out laughing, and I just said something stupid like a little kid, but it was like it was like the timing and everything. I mean, everybody was laughing. My dad, my mom, my uncle, my aunt, everybody was. It was the funniest friggin' thing. But I remember in my mind, I was like, oh, if you can make people laugh, that's. And I guess it just stuck with me my whole life, the whole making people laugh. But can you imagine if it was something else? Like if I had, if I had been able to convince somebody of something, and I said, oh, I was able to talk that person into buying me a candy bar, and then and then I get older, and I realize that I can fast talk people into buying me. Hey, can I get some money for the bus and whatever, and pretty soon I'm a scammer. Like by the time I'm 20 years old. I'm forging checks, whatever. I mean, that's you learn how to do these things over time. You get better at them. So Prabhupada, being this guru guy, met his guru, saw what his guru was doing when he was 20, when he was a young man, however old he was, when he was college. He saw his guru. He got sucked into this cult by his guru. And he started working, and by the time somebody was asking, when did he finally leave his family? When he got really good, when he got good enough, and he said, I'm going to go to America. He was 69, however old he was. But just because he started at 69 and he wrote his book at whatever, it doesn't mean he wasn't working this shit and learning and honing it and getting it down since he was since he met his guru. This is what makes a cult leader. That's why these are cult leaders. That's why not everybody, and a lot of people try to be cult leaders. They try to be this or that. Not everybody's good at it. A lot of gurus aren't good at it. all these gurus in ISKCON, they fall down. Obviously, they couldn't even do that. ISKCON is like the Timu of gurus, and they can't even do that. So that just shows you how bad they are. Yeah, some people are what we call book smart, which is extra funny in a cult that sells books. Funny how all these cults sell books, like Dianetics and Jehovah's Witness. They're all out there selling books. That's their big thing, is Watchtower and their books. They like to target successful people and brainwash them. If they can get rich people and get those donations in, and it gives them notoriety, and they love that. They love that shit. We were talking about the craziest shit Prabhupada has sold us and literally ruined our lives in real time. Not only that, yes, we are. And not only that, but we're trying to warn other people, and they come in and they're like, well, they're like, they don't understand. They have no clue. The trolls are making you go viral. It's good. It's good. It's what they need. They need to hear the truth, because no one else is giving them like this.
Every movement leader. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech changed history, not just because of its message, but because of its delivery. Language shapes realities. It's how people get radicalized, how leaders maintain control, how entire belief systems take hold. The right words, repeated often enough, become truth.
The right words repeated often enough. So like Prabhupada, if you go through the Veda base, you'll see that Prabhupada is saying the same shit over and over and over and over. No matter what it is, no matter what conversation, no matter what book, no matter what story, it's the same shit. Chant Hare Krishna, worship the Lord, worship your guru, follow the 4 regulative principles, and you can go back to Godhead. Catch me if you can, basically. Fake it till you're Vedic. Yeah, and that's important. This is really important. The damage that Prabhupada caused and is still causing is really damaging. It's real. It's real. And there's so many videos on the internet. It's not just me. I'm just talking about it. But there are so many videos of ex-devotees that talk about their experiences, just like Dagmar, just like so many. All they're doing is talking and speaking out and saying, this is what happened to me. This is what I experienced. It's like that astrologer guy. I don't even know what happened. He won't even say what happened to him. I don't think anything happened to him. He's just traumatized. He's just like, he definitely doesn't look like the happy guy he was before. And that's just one example. There's so many of these guys on there that talk about how they left Hare Krishna and the trauma that they have, or the PTSD, or whatever it is, and it harmed them in some way. And if then you go to the comment section and you see a bunch of these Hare Krishnas talking about how you were this and you were that and you don't understand, it's the same shit, just like on Dagmar's video, on Queen of Karma and Dagmar's video. It's the same attitude. The same attitude. Harvard Swami believes the Rahu demon planet eclipses the sun and moon out of envy. Rahu tried stealing nectar and was beheaded by Vishnu. He also created garlic and onions to poison mankind. Yeah, I wanted to say, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. There's it's called, where is it? Okay, it says it might seem like, so this is AI. I asked AI, and it says, I said, how can an educated person believe in myths and fairy tales. And it says, it might seem like a contradiction, but for many educated people, these myths aren't seen as failed science. They are seen as a different vehicle for truth. Here's how highly educated individuals often reconcile these two worlds. Educated believers often move away from biblical literalism, taking every word as historical fact. Instead, they view myths as metaphorical frameworks. Well, that view, we have to discard that, because Harvard Swami, the whole philosophy is that these are not metaphorical stories, that they are historical fact. So we go to the next one. It says cognitive compartmentalization. The human brain is remarkably good at compartmentalizing, using analytical thinking for work in science while using intuitive or emotional thinking for faith and community. For instance, an astrophysicist might use rigorous data as the observatory, but find deep emotional value in the rituals and myths of their childhood, because those stories provide a sense of, again, belonging and identity. So, and then it says psychological necessity. Myths serve as a compass to navigate order from chaos. Humans naturally seek patterns and agency. Religion and mythology satisfy a God engine in our brains that look for meaning in random events. So, because you go, well, very smart people that go to Harvard, let's say let's say lawyers, very smart lawyers, judges, Supreme Court judges, believe in God. They believe in Jesus. They believe in the resurrection. They believe in stories. They may believe in Noah's Ark, and they may believe in a burning bush and parting the Red Sea, even though they can understand very complex scientific ideas and economic ideas and legal ideas about civics and government and philosophical ideas about rights and human rights and all of these things that you would say, you got to be pretty smart, figure out a lot of these things. Idiots can't just figure out these logical questions and defend someone in a courtroom, and come up with all kinds of legal explanations for that. That takes some brain power. And yet, when it comes to did a guy part the Red Sea, or talk to a burning bush, or some of these other build an ark and float around the world with a bunch of animals on them, and then they go, yes, he did. Yes, I believe that too. I believe that too. So it's just it's something that people do, something that the human mind can do. So I was kind of looking for one of the trolls. I don't want a troll to say, there we go, fake humor with a good rice. I don't want trolls to get mad and say that I'm ignoring them. I don't want to ignore any of the trolls, because they need to be acknowledged. They need to be acknowledged in here, because this is why we're doing it. This is what I'm doing it for. But sometimes there's so many comments. Exactly. Okay, the ISKCON CPO officer is a highly educated female lawyer. A highly educated female lawyer. So you got to figure that she can figure things out. If she can figure things out. To defend somebody, you got to be able to logically say, well, if you were here at 10 o'clock and it takes 15 minutes to drive over there, and the witness, you got to be able to figure a lot of stuff out if you're a highly educated lawyer. But yet she looks at these stories, and she looks at this Prabhupada, and she says, yeah, he's in this Sampradaya with these imaginary people that goes back to an elephant-headed guy with an elephant's trunk for a head, and this Vyasadeva is 5,000 years old, and he's still living, and Chaitanya went whoop into a statue. I mean, really, seriously, you want that person defending you? You want that person as your lawyer? You want some person as your lawyer that says, well, it's karma? It's all your it's your karma? Well, it's not my karma. It's not that kid's karma that freak guru molested her. It's not her karma. I don't care what your philosophy says. I don't care what your book says. I don't care what. She didn't do something in her past life that caused that freak to come and violate her behind the stage at a Raw Theatre festival and then marry her off to some guy in India. That ain't karma. I'm sorry, but it ain't. And you want a lawyer that says, well, that's all karma? How can she be a lawyer? She got to know it's not karma. She got to know that there's somebody's responsible for that shit. Otherwise, why have a court? Why have a jury? Why have a judge? Why have a jail? Hey, it's not karma, but why should we punish anyone if it's karma? Make it make sense.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
How are you gonna have a lawyer? How are you gonna have a lawyer who thinks that marrying a 12-year that this Prabhupada guy who married a 12-year-old girl off to a 19-year-old man, that's fine? What else does she think is fine? What else does she think is fine? I have to. That's her judgment. That's her judgment. How can she be? How can she have a rational mind to look at a child abuse case, and while the law books for the next 10,000 years, her books of her guru say 12-year-old girls can be married to 19-year-old boys, and she's on the child protection. The child protection thing? Hey, give me a break. It ain't the fucking stupidest thing I ever heard. This is the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard. Karma arguments, which is given, is very horrible. It's great for them because then they don't have to worry about shit. They don't have to care about shit. They don't have to care about their parents. They don't have to care about their children. They can just join this Hare Krishna and they don't have to feel bad. They don't have to feel guilty. Paz's brother doesn't have to care about his parents, about his family. He can go off to India and milk a cow. He doesn't care. It is. It's evil. It's evil. It's evil, and it gets. It's evil, and it gets like like all these flowers thrown on top of it. So you don't smell it or see it. You don't smell it or you don't smell the shit. You don't see it. You don't see it. You don't smell it because there's all these flowers on top of it. But don't step on it because if you step on it, you're gonna shit all over your foot. Fucking disgusting. A circular argument or circular reasoning is a logical fallacy where the conclusion is used as one of the premises to support itself. Instead of offering evidence, it restates the claim in a loop. Yeah. Why is Prabhupada a pure devotee? He's a pure devotee because he's in the disciplic succession. Well, he's in a disciplic succession because he's a pure devotee. How do I know his translation? Well, he's a Vedic scholar. How do I know he's a Vedic scholar? Yeah, he's a Vedic scholar. How do I know he's a Vedic scholar? Because he translated the Bhagavad Gita. He must be a Vedic scholar if he translated. Oh, fucking, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. So, okay, I want to get into some Krishna videos. Okay. Oh, here's one. So this one. This is a story. This is something that just happened. This just came out. This was just released today. This came out today. Because he said so. Because he said so. I know. Because he said so. That's it. Just like L. Ron Hubbard. True that. Yeah, it's like L. Ron Hubbard. Why is L. Ron Hubbard? Why should I listen to L. Ron Hubbard? Because he says so. Prabhupada is a pure devotee because he said that he is. He said, because it says so in his book. It says so in he wrote down in his book that he is a pure devotee. And if you don't accept it, then you are a aparati. You're not surrendered. You're not surrendered, you're not going to understand until you surrender. I know, and they continue to do. They continue to do that, Queen. All these cult leaders just went, I talked to God, and then went, trust me, bro. They've been doing it forever. They're still doing it today. They're still doing it today. Oh, well, obviously, these super Hindus. But before we get to the super Hindus, I want to show you this story, this girl telling her story. And it just shows you there's so many I didn't know. But anyway, I wanted to show you this one. And I hope the audio is good on this.
Is the first test.
I'm good, thank you.
And this is about Sapna telling her story. She, in many ways, is the first test case of this new CPOC. They came in with all of this fanfare about due process. I think what you're about to hear, and particularly the impact it has on someone who, looks to the society for support as a victim of child abuse and so on, is truly shocking. And we think there's a bunch of questions that both the GBC and the CPOC should be answering. We don't think it's at all acceptable what's happened. And if there's an indication of what's coming in the future, it does not bode well. We're also joined by Sanika. Please greet everybody, Sanika. Who's up at the unholy hour, or should I say the holy hour of 4 a.m.
The holy hour. Brahma
in this part of the world.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Damodar. Thank you, Sapna. I really, really appreciate your willingness and your courage, because it takes a lot, and it's really important in the sense that, of course, this is very important to you and your story, but it's also, it has an
cannot be seen. So there you go. Sapna, tell us a little bit about your history of involvement with the Krishna consciousness movement from the late 80s, early 90s through to today. Just what is it? How are you connected? What is it that you do?
So two devotees came to my parents' house. Oh my God, yeah, in the 80s, and gave my dad Science of Self-Realization, and it started from there.
So her dad got a book in the 80s. I mean, I don't mean to interrupt it so far. She says, her dad got a book in the 80s, and that's how it started. I mean.
And in 88, we moved to Norbury. And then my mum and dad started doing service in Soho Temple once a week after they shut the shop and stuff. And obviously my cousin only lived a 5-minute drive away from us, so we were always together. But yeah, and then I finished uni and I stayed in Watford Temple doing service, making garlands, helping in the kitchen and stuff. And then life progressed and got married, had my daughter, got divorced, and now I'm with my other partner. But yeah, Krishna consciousness, we started at a very, very, very young age, me and my family.
You maintained your connection throughout?
Yes. I mean, I don't go to the temple as much as I used to now, since this whole thing. It's put me off going Soho, for sure.
Yeah, understood. And of course, that's one of the things that...
So obviously, she's got a story, but I don't see any beads around her neck. Maybe she's got some beads. I don't see any beads. She says, I don't go to the temple much anymore. It sounds like she's still a devotee in some way, which is really sad. Well, who's this in here? Because I don't want anyone to say I'm ignoring them. So what do we got here? We got Sri Thasrid Dandipu or something, and he's trying to say Hare Krishna to everybody. Who's your guru, man? So what ISKCON came to save us? What ISKCON guru came to save you? So Prabhupada, the pedophile, came to save you? Is that what you think? Hare Krishna Das, also known as Radha Dasi, Suzanne Tal is here as Hari 108. Good on you, Mike. I don't know. I don't see who's here. So we got some real scammers in here. I guess I can't see them all. I don't know. I don't see. But this person here, I want to know. You want to have a conversation or not? What do you want to? You want to have a conversation? Who's your guru? I need to know who your guru is first. Before we can have a conversation, I need to know who your guru is. So, yeah, I need to know who his guru is first before I can have a conversation. So, he's probably embarrassed. He doesn't want to say who his guru is. So I want to get back to something important.
When people get all sentimental, oh, the poor old abusers had all these restrictions, they actually forget about the impacts on the life of victims who might be re-traumatized just by running into the abuser and so on. Now, sometime in the early 90s, you experienced abuse. And we're not obviously prying to get the details, but there's one particular thing that I want to ask, even though it seems a little chronologically out of order. When you reported this, initially you reported it to the CPO. This was prior to the CPOC dismantling them and so on. And they adjudicated your case, and we'll come back and sort that. But for some reason, CPOC, they decided to also have a look at the case, and they characterized what happened as the adventures of teenagers, the curiosity of teenagers, as if you were two willing experimenters. That's not your experience at all. And how did it feel to you when you heard people who don't know you, hadn't heard the details, weren't even maybe across the details, but choosing to characterize this tragic event that happened in your life in that kind of casual, doesn't even need restrictions kind of way? Yeah. Anyway, I apologize even for asking the question, but I think it's important in the scheme of everything that we're going to look at here. What impact has it had on your life when you experience abuse, particularly as a young person? I think you were 16. How has that played out in the rest of your life? Yeah.
This is tougher than I thought.
No, I understand. And look, tell us if at any point it's too much, we can just stop.
The abuse, I'll tell you the history. The abuse started at a very young age, and it all started with him touching me in places and stuff. And because I was so young, I didn't know what was right and wrong. And then as I got older, I realized what he's doing is totally not acceptable, and it felt wrong. And that's when I said no. And that was probably at the age of 15. And this probably started when I was about 10, 11.
Right.
And then that's when I started playing up with my family and didn't want to go to their house and stuff, because we used to go and see them every week. And it was just before my GCSE exam. And I literally refused, and my mum forced me to go because they were going to sit at someone's house because it was a funeral. And that's when I was raped at his house at 16.
I'm so sorry that you had to experience that.
Yeah, it was only years and years later. I didn't tell anyone. Then I spoke up at 18, and I told temples what had happened. Like, I was in the Pandava Center at that point. And all my friends supported me because because I stayed with them as well to get away from where I was. And I went to a few of the Guru Maharajas to say my case, but nothing was done. So then I left it. And
You know, this is this is the same story over and over again. It's just the same story over again, and I don't mean to trivialize her story. It's a horrible story, and I feel horrible for this woman. She said it started at a young age, and then they tried to blame her, and they tried to say it was some kind of it was just teenagers having fun, teenagers experimenting. Because who's looking at this thing? A bunch of old men who don't even know how to talk to this woman. Like this guy, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know how to listen. He doesn't even know how to listen to her. And you notice they don't have they couldn't get another woman on there just to so there could be another woman on there. This guy, and I'm not saying they're trying to gang up on her or anything. I'm not saying they're trying to gang up on her, but I'm just saying. She's crying. She's traumatized. She's trying to tell her story. I mean, she wants to tell her story, but it's emotional and it's traumatizing for her. And you got these two guys there, and they look like they're like again. They look like I don't know. I'm not saying they're heartless, soulless. I'm not trying to say that. Yeah, I agree with you. It is, but they are on her side. But I agree with you. It's not. It could be a lot better. I mean, obviously, it could be a lot better. But they are on her side because they're like, they didn't do anything. The guy's still running around. You know, if you go to Mayapur, you might run into him, and that's bad. And so they are. In their fucked up way, they are. Their fucked up way. I don't know how to get all the. I don't know how to get all the comments. I don't know why. I'm not seeing everything. Yeah. She didn't even know what abuse. She didn't even know what was going on. It's so sad. It's so sad. Yeah, we know you enjoy. Tell me who your guru is, or I'm not going to put your comments up. You have to tell me who your guru is, because even when you see harm, like this woman's harm and so many people's harm and suicides and kids and all that, you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. You're like, I don't care. I'm having a good time. I don't care how many people are harmed. Your attitude is they could harm every single person in ISKCON, and as long as I'm okay, I don't give a fuck. That's how you think. That's how you think. We already know that's how you think. So yeah, and they're brainwashed to think like that. They don't care. It's like my friend Radha Kuhn said. He said, you could prove to me that this shit is wrong and not real, and I would still do it. And lo and behold, here I am with the proof that it's wrong, and it's not real. And these people don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They don't care that people like this are harmed every single day. They just don't. They're like, don't spoil my good time. Don't spoil my good time. It's like, yeah, I know.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
It's the same as these people are like, I know Epstein Island, and I know all these people went there, but, I don't want to be bothered with that shit. I don't want to be bothered with it. I don't care. All these people are like, I don't care. I don't care that there's a worldwide pedophile. Oh, you cared before when it was just a conspiracy theory, and it was the other people that you thought we're doing it. But now that there's evidence and proof that there's this pedophile ring with victims and files and all this stuff, I don't want to be bothered with that. I'm too busy. I'm too busy with other shit. What are you too busy with? What are you too busy with that you can't care about this woman, and that you got a predator guru running around? Nobody gives a fuck that this predator guru is running around. You guys don't care that this woman is saying, hey, this predator guru raped me, and he's still running around. And people coming in here just like they did on Dagmar's video, saying, don't ruin my good time telling me somebody got raped by my cult. Yeah, because it's the cult. Absolutely, because it's the cult interviewing the cult. I agree with you. It is. It's. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better than. Yeah, I mean, but basically on. Don't fool yourself. On a certain level, it's karma. Okay, on a certain level, they believe it's karma. So even though they're being nice to her and they're like, hey, you got abused and all this, they still believe in karma. They still believe in all that shit. And they still believe she has a small brain and she likes to get raped and all of that stuff. So even though they're being nice to her and they're on her side, they still have fucked up beliefs. So you're absolutely right. They don't know how to listen because maybe they themselves got something behind their backs or covering for some friends or family members. It's possible. Well, Rafael, I think they're afraid. Okay, let me just say, I think they're afraid to come to that conclusion that we have come to. That's what's holding them back. Is that the only next logical step is to leave and say fuck this shit, and they're not doing that. So they're gonna they're on that wheel that takes them nowhere. They're on a spinning wheel that takes them nowhere because they're never gonna make that break. And I know what that was like because that's how I was with Tattva Darshan. That's why I always go back to this Tattva Darshan thing. Because that was like the defining moment for me. It was like, and it really, it wasn't hard to know what was right. What was hard was just leaving. That's what was hard. It was hard. I knew what was right. I knew what was right. I knew right and wrong. I knew Tattva was wrong. I knew all my friends were wrong. I knew Prabhupada was wrong. I knew it was wrong. But the hard part was just doing it. So I know what it's, because that's the next step. That's the next step. That's why I'm saying here, I tell these people that come in here, like, you gotta leave. Leela Manjari, you gotta leave. This, whatever his name is, this idiot in here, Shri Thep Danu, whatever, you gotta leave. There's no like, oh, it's bad and I want to fix it, or oh, it's bad and I'm gonna interview all the women that are harmed and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it and I'm gonna do an investigation. And no, you don't. You leave. You leave and then you go, you know what? I'm gonna warn people about this shit. If you want to fix it, you gotta leave and go, hey, don't join. Don't join. It's dangerous. You can't stay in it and go, hey, it's kind of dangerous. It's kind of it was dangerous for her, but hey, not dangerous for that other guy because he came in and said it was okay. They say there's the good and the bad. So this, she represents the bad. We don't like that. But hey, there's a lot of good. What the fuck is that? Freaking insanity. It's friggin'. I'm in. I've only got one. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, I see all of you guys. Oh wait, if a devotee tries to find and exploit any fault, Ghost Goblin. Hey, Ghost Goblin, good to see you here. If a devotee tries to find and exploit any fault a person has, and they act like they're perfect, that typically means they have a lot to hide themselves. They don't want other people knowing about. Yeah, you know, I think devotees learn that they have to act like they're perfect, because the more you act like you're perfect, then the more you would kind of advance, and that shows that you're advancing. Like these Gorahari people, like these Gorahari people, right? These Gorahari people.
Like that, where you're in your house and you really experience that you just did a pilgrimage. And
if they're not laughing, if he's teaching them that the highest platform is to giggle and laugh, and they're not giggling and laughing, then either what he's teaching them doesn't work and it's a bunch of bullshit, or they're not getting it. So in order for them to show that they're getting it, they got to giggle and laugh and cry and go through all these gymnastics just to show, to prove to themselves and prove to him that they're feeling it, that they're getting it. Otherwise they're not, because that's what he's teaching them. That this is it. You got to giggle and laugh and cry and go through all these weird insanity. The Child Protection Office is a guru protection office. It protects the guru. Yeah, the CPOC is a big failure because of it's there to protect the gurus. It's like HR. It's like the HR department at your job. It's just there. It's there to protect them. It's not there for you. It's not doing anything for you. What? I don't know, Eliana. I don't know what the settings are if I'm not getting all the chats. Am I getting? Okay, let me see if I'm getting all the chats now. I don't know what. Okay, now I think something happened. Let's see. Okay, now I'm getting about. Now I see. Okay, now I see what happened. Something happened. You can't investigate yourself, right? You can't investigate yourself. But now, I guess now I'm getting all the comments. I wasn't getting them all before. Where's Radha Dasi? What is she talking about? I want to. Radha Dasi is here to defend herself in the criminal nonsense she preaches. Where? I don't see anyone commenting. I asked Kripa Moya directly about sexual abuse, and he gave me some circuitous answer about karma being in a certain train compartment on a train. Next time, just ask him if Prabhupada was wrong to put child marriage in his Bhagavatam and in his conversations. That's what I want to. I would just ask him that. Was Prabhupada wrong to put child marriage in his books? Hey, Dagmar, great to see you here. I'm sorry, my comments. I wasn't getting all the comments, so I'm really sorry about that. Kripa Moya is not going to do anything to jeopardize his good standing in ISKCON. That's number one. So no matter what he thinks, he's not going to say anything that's going to jeopardize. That's why I'm saying they're not going to come in here and say anything. They're not going to come in here and say anything. And I don't know who Ghost Goblin, what happened. But if anybody in here wants to, yeah, I'm not seeing all the trolls either. I don't know why I'm not seeing all the trolls' comments. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, okay. So let me get to. So we got that. So let me get to some of these white Hindu. Okay, we got the opening. Let's do the opening, right? All right, let's do the opening. Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, they're coming up, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess somehow Ghost Goblin got banned, maybe. I don't know. Maybe some people are banned. I don't know. And I can't see him. You guys can see him, but I can't see him. But I don't know. I'm not seeing every. Yeah, well, it says all comments. I'm clicking on it. It says all comments, but it's not. It says that I'm supposed to be seeing all the comments, but evidently I'm not, and I don't know if there's anything else I can do. Let me get to the next video. Here we go. This is. Let me get to the opening for this. All right, here we go with the brand new opening for the brand new segment, and this is in honor of my producer Rafal, who sends in all these great videos. Here we go.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call dimension of imagination, dimension of imagination, dimension of imagination, dimension of imagination, dimension of imagination.
Yes, it is the Krishna zone, a dimension of imagination. Oh, okay. So maybe I blocked a couple people, and I can't see them. So that's probably what happened. Okay, so here we go. So here's our first our white super Hindus. Here we go.
Please, Bhagavad Gita le लीजिए, बहुत अच्छी किताब है. Thank you very much. Please chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Please, Bhagavad Gita le लीजिए, बहुत अच्छी किताब है. Thank you very much. Please chant Hare Krishna and be happy.
So as you can see, we got I guess they're Russian or Eastern European, and they're in India at the India Gate, which is it's like in the middle of India. It's like a big park, kind of like a monument, like a big city park, something like that. And they're there, and they are preaching to the Indians and distributing Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, because no one knows Bhagavad Gita and Hinduism better than some white people from Russia, some Russians or whatever, because they read Prabhupada's books, and he's got them brainwashed into thinking that they're like super Hindus, like they have the nerve to sit there, and they're like, that'd be like me going to Nigeria or something and sitting in the middle of Lagos, and dressed up like some African tribesman medicine man with a bunch of African tribesmen books and going, hey, I got the African books on African whatever, medicine man, whatever for this tribe. I'm the guy. You got to come get this book from me. I'm going to teach you about being a medicine man in Africa somewhere. And then people would look at me like, what the fuck are you doing? You're an idiot. There's no difference. There's absolutely no difference. All right, what do we got? Do we got a troll in here? You will get nothing by doing this. Only Lord Krishna is supreme. He's operating. Our universe is beyond science. Go on Epstein Island, you loser dog. Well, no, your cult is Epstein Island. You have like Prabhupada Island where you marry off 12-year-old girls to 19-year-old men. And you have gurus that are molesting little girls. And you want to talk about Epstein Island. You guys got Epstein Island. You got Mayapur, where you got a whole bunch of pedophiles hanging out in Mayapur, molesting little girls. You got just like this woman. It's like this woman. You guys are nothing but pedophiles. You got a lot of nerve coming in here. You got a lot of fucking nerve coming in here trying to say that we need to go to Epstein Island when your whole fucking cult is Epstein goddamn Island. Your whole fucking cult is Epstein Island. Their whole cult is Epstein Island. He's got a lot of nerve to come in here and mention Epstein Island. He's got a lot of nerve to come in here and mention Epstein Island when his whole cult is Epstein fucking Island. Trafficking little girls all over the place like this poor woman here. And you know what? He doesn't give a fuck. He cares about Epstein Island. He's going to pretend like he cares about Epstein Island when he doesn't even care about the women and children in his own fucking cult. And he's going to come in here and talk like he's got something to say about Epstein Island. These fuckers can go fucking fuck off for all I care. You believe this shit? I know trolls talking about Epstein Island are fucking Hare Krishnas talking about Epstein Island is fucking irony is dead. Irony's fucking dead, man. Is dead. They killed it. They fucking killed it, man. And the whole cult, your whole cult is Epstein Island. It is the whole fucking thing, man. They ain't got a fucking clue. Man. All right, so here's another white Hindu. We have a white female Hindu. We have a white female super Hindu. And here she goes. What's it like to be a white female Hindu? Well, let's hear Shamarani. This is the woman that talked that lady into moving her trailer. She moved her trailer. She talked this woman into moving her trailer 500 miles from Tampa to Orlando or somewhere. And then she wants money. Wait a minute, what is this? Wait a minute, what do we got here? What do we got here? Oh, you're not banned? Okay, good for you. You're just recording my 7 months journey. You're a fucking loser. Yeah, okay, well, okay, I might be a loser, but you're a fucking pedophile. You're in a pedophile cult. Why? So I'm a loser, okay, but you're in a pedophile cult. So, that makes, what is that? Well, at least I'm not in a pedophile cult. I might be a loser. I'm not in a pedophile cult. I'm not worshiping pedophiles. I'm not worshiping who's your guru? Tell me who your guru is so I can look him up, put him on my wheel of idiots. Well, who's your guru so I can put him on my wheel? Where's my wheel of, I don't have my wheel of idiots. Who's your guru so I can put him on my wheel of idiots? I know, Mayapur is it's the headquarters of the Epstein movement. That's where they go get 12-year-old girls. That's where they go get their 12-year-old wives. That's where they go get their 12-year-old wives in Mayapur. That's where the Chandrasekhar, Hridayananda disciples and Radhanath disciples and Devamrita disciples and Bhaktivedanta, they all go into Yumna Swami with all his little girls. These people are nuts, man. They really are. What happened to my Shamarani video? Something happened. What happened to my Shamarani? Oh, I lost it. I lost her. But in honor of Shamarani, let me see. We got. Well, he doesn't realize I'm initiated devotee. So he's committing an aparat. He might become a ghost. He doesn't know that. Ghost Goblin. I think I know who your sister. Yeah, I lost her, and I can't. I mean, I could get her back. I don't know. I can't get her back. Srila Prabhupada is your guru, so you're guru, the ultimate pedophile who had an 11-year-old wife when he was 22 years old. That's your guru. That's the person you think is a holy man. You think your holy man, pure devotee guru, had an 11-year-old wife when he was 22 years old, and you say prayers to that fucking freak. That's what you do. You say prayers and worship Prabhupada's fucking stinky ass feet and shitty ass mouth. You piece of shit. You worship that piece of shit. You worship that piece of shit. God, what a fucking piece of shit you are. I thought you'd have one of these other fucking dumbass gurus, but you got Prabhupada as your fucking guru. Fuck. How old are you? You must be older than fuck. You must be older than dirt if Prabhupada's your guru. How can Prabhupada be your guru? How can Prabhupada be your guru? You must be older than fucking dirt. How old are you? 80 years old? Are you 80 fucking years old? You got to be at least 80 years old. How old are you? Prabhupada's your guru? I don't believe you. I believe you're a fucking lying piece of shit. I know you're a lying piece of shit. No 80-year-old Prabhupada disciple would come in here and argue with me. I know that. He's a fucking Ritvik. He's a fucking shitvik. He's a fucking shitvik. He ain't nothing. Yeah, I get enraged. Anyway. I rant and rave without them being here, so it doesn't matter to me. It just gives me an excuse to fucking yell and scream, which I don't even need. Yeah, so not only was she 22, and not only was he 22 and she was 11, but he said he didn't even love her. He didn't love her, and he didn't care for her, and he wanted another wife. He wanted to get another wife, and his father told him, "No, don't do that. You don't need another wife." So, but this guy doesn't want to talk anymore. He's because I told him he's not a Prabhupada disciple. He's a piece of shit. Yeah, I think so. You know, a lot of it. And Rafal was Indra Yumna Swami's right-hand man, his assistant for like 5 years, 9 years, something like that. So Rafal too. Rafal had a position. Rafal had a position, and he had a little. You know, Rafal had a cushy little position, and he came to his senses, and we all did. So. And that's what they don't like. They want, you know, they want Hare Krishnas to think that we're fucked up, that we're out in the material world, we're drunk, and we're in the crack house, and we're on Skid Row, and we're eating meat with our left hand and burgers with our left hand, and alcoholics and shooting drugs in our. That's what they want to believe. They don't want to believe that we got our shit together and we're happy, healthy, normal people. They want them to believe that we're fucking losers and we're having sex with who knows what, farm animals or whatever. Just like he said, oh, you're a loser. Go to Epstein Island. Meanwhile, he's already at Epstein Island. But that's how they want to think of us. They want to think of us as like we're this out of control. You know, it is so funny. It is so funny. And they can't come in here and talk about anything. They can't explain anything. They can't have a conversation. All they can do is victim shame, victim blame, call names, say that there were operatis at the Yamadutas, and you're a loser, and you're going to go to the hellish planets, and you're going to do this, and I'm gonna chant the Kali Ma so that you'll get tormented in your sleep, and all of this stuff. That's what you know. They can't handle it. They just can't handle it. Yeah. You wipe with the left hand, so you don't eat with the left hand. You eat with your right hand. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, and it's the same. It's the same patriarchy. It's the same white supremacy, and you know. And I was joking around the other night about how I broke the code, and it is in a way because you have to look at things a little bit differently. You have to, you know, and when you put all the pieces together, you put that white supremacy piece in there, it totally makes sense. And especially when you hear about how these people are, these women and minorities are attracted to the white power. They want to be next to white power. They feel safe. They feel secure. They feel immune. They feel like the heat is off. Like I'm safe now. It's really sinister. That's why I say it's so sinister and evil. And there's so many ways to look at it, and every way you look at it, it's evil. That is Hari 108. I think I may have banned Hari 108 because I don't. They wanted to just chant all this stuff, and I said no, I don't want you. Yeah, I banned. You guys can handle them. You guys can handle. You guys can handle them. You guys can handle them. Let me see. So in honor of Shamarani, who I couldn't get, let's take a look at this. Look at these freaks.
Chapter. It's just. It has beautiful poetic verses about nature, but especially what it is, it's a meditation on what happens when agitation subsides. You know, it's about like the monsoon is over and it created all kinds of agitation. And as the autumn season sets in, the agitation subsides. And so that rainy season is really representing, you know, turbulence and, you know, excess action or excess movement. And the autumn is representing, you know, clarity and inner stillness.
It's
and
the
so these verses,
the white super Hindu, the white super Hindu. This is Kastuba Das. He of course is a punk to monk to flunk, and he was once a punk rocker. Then he became a monk rocker, and now he's a flunk rocker. And I'm Gora Hoodie. I am Gora Hoodie. I'm Gora Hoodie. I'm Gora Hoodie in my hoodie. Okay, so let's go back a little bit.
It's worth really thinking about. We may live active lives externally, but we have to find this inner steadiness and this inner stillness. Otherwise, we won't be able to have this kind of focused, unwavering meditation on Krishna, which is really what Bhagavad Gita is calling for us, to develop that kind of focus. And reading these texts and sharing them is one way to do it. And I felt like just spending a little time with that sadhu was something nice experience.
Okay, enough of you. Enough of you. Enough of you, man. Oh, I know. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for people who are still in this bullshit cult. They don't live happy lives or normal lives. That's for sure. They can lie all they want and pretend they're happy, but they're not. I'm going to tell you right now, Jenna. I'm going to tell Jenna, and I'm going to tell all you Hare Krishnas out there. The fact that you would come in here and troll us is proof that you're not happy. You're not happy. If you were truly happy, you wouldn't give a fuck about what we're doing. You just wouldn't give a fuck. Just like we don't give a fuck about you coming in here and trolling me. I don't give a fuck about you trolling me. It doesn't bother me one bit. I don't care. In fact, I like it. It makes it better. Makes it better when you troll me. But it just shows that you really have no life. You have no life, and you have no understanding of anything. Otherwise, you wouldn't bother. You wouldn't bother. It's Gora, we get ready to prepare the clothing arctic to Gora hoodie. Gora hoodie. The Gora hoodie. Our Gora hoodie. Let's see. Can we get some Gora hoodie in here? Let me see. Gora.
Otherwise, what's the purpose of having a guru?
Oh.
Yeah. Guru. Yeah. So here we got chapter 4. Yeah. Does anybody else want to come up and help the cause a little bit? Do some reading. God, when you do it, you feel so fucking good. What do you forget so easily? You people out there? Okay, so Lolita, we're on chapter 4, Srimad Bhagavatam, and text number 21.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
See, Noodles even. See, she's coming up more.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. That is fucking ridiculous. There's another super Hindu. So here's another super Hindu. And I don't want to tell you, Indus 10, non 10. I don't know what that is. You lost me there, but the laughing gas group. I know it. It's the gang that couldn't laugh straight. It's the laughing gas gang. I know it is. Okay, so let's get to our next white Hindu. Who's our next white Hindu? Oh, look, it's this guy.
Book that I've been working on with Vrindaranya and Sundar Gopal for some time is coming along well. And recently, Sundar Gopal did a seminar retreat at Bhaktivinoda Thakur's residence in Godrum under the auspices of the Thakur at Gorgadhar regarding this topic of inherency.
I can't help it. I can't help but laugh. I can't help but laugh. I can't help but laugh. I just can't help but laugh at these guys who think they are the super Hindus. They think there's the super Hindu. It is just so funny to me. You know, he really thinks he is this white Hindu that everyone should bow down and worship this guy. He thinks that people should get down on the ground, touch his feet, wash his feet, and worship him like he's God. He's no different. He's no different than this guy. He's no different than this guy. I mean, seriously, he's not. He's no different. He's no different. He's no different than this guy who blows his nose and farts and whatever while he's chanting. He thinks he's a super Hindu too. He thinks he's a super Hindu too. They all do. They all think that they can sit there and teach this love of God and this Mahabhava Ras and this Bhava Ras and all of this stuff. They think that they're like experts at this Rupa Nuga, Sanatana Dharma, Rupa Nuga, Gaudiya, whatever. Just like Knitting Cold Lady said, they got their own language. And the more you can learn their language and repeat their crap, the more you can move up and be part of it. It's such bullshit. I mean, I can't even. It's so funny. You just gave me an idea. I hope it's a good idea. I hope it's not a bad idea. I hope it's a good idea. So the super Hindus. So that was Swami that's Tripurari. This is Tripurari. He's an old time scammer from way back. He's one of these old time scammers from way back, and he's been scamming so long. He's probably close to 80 years old. All these guys, all these old timers are close to 80 years old. He's got to be 75, 80, close to 80 years old. This guy, still scamming, still cosplaying, still pretending to be a super Hindu, still pretending to be Mr. Super Hindu. It's so funny. It's so funny to me. It's so funny. Hey, Ann, good to see you, man. It's so good. I'm having so much fun. We are having so much fun. Let me tell you.
Listen, I'm probably the hippest guy around here. I got a house full of strangers. I got cats, I got dogs, I got pot, I got acid, I got LSD cubes. Don't tell me about hip. I am so hip, it hurts. That's how hip I am.
That's how hip I am. That's how I am. That's how hip I am. Okay, let's see. What do we got next? Okay, we gotta get rid of that jerk. Okay, what's this? So hey, check it out. You know the group of devotees that are those guys, those new guys, the magical mysteries. So should we do a little magical mystery? Let's do a little bit in honor of these guys. Let's do a little magical mystery story. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go with these guys. Oh, we got super Hindus in training. These are super Hindus in training. Okay, we got Oh my God. These guys they're not quite super Hindus yet, but they're in training. They're in super Hindu college. They're in super Hindu school. They're in super Hindu school. I give up. I give up. I give up. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker. I give up. Man, these people talk about isolation. Ooh, I'm growing horns. Talk about isolation, man. They got him out. They got him out in the jungle. They got him out in the jungles of South India. Just my ex used to say, if you leave, you'll get eaten alive. I know. It's like, yeah, I know. I used to hear these devotees saying, "Oh, if I hadn't become a Hare Krishna, who knows what I'd be doing? I'd be like stealing cars and running drugs, and I'd be like international fucking weapons dealer and or I don't know." And they made it sound like, like, who were you? Were you Al Capone? What the fuck were you doing before? It's like everybody's got to exaggerate because it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, is South India. I know they got these guys from Nebraska, Ohio. They got them in South India somewhere. I don't know. They're on a trip. They're not at their regular place. They're on a trip. Nobody lives there. The only other people that live there like get diseases. That's not. It's so funny, man. No, they got them isolated so they can brainwash them. They got them isolated so they can brainwash them into the cult. It's a South Indian Jumanji. It's crazy. I know the guys. Did you see him with that animal? He was like, he said the wrong word and this animal jumped out and he gave it a chapati or something. Oh, you got suckered in. You got suckered, lady. I'm sorry. And you look like you're from Africa and you got suckered into this cult. Oh, there they are. They just look so happy. They look so happy. They look so excited because, they've been shitting in a hole out in a field. They've been eating rice and khichdi and like just bland ass food. They've probably been sick as hell on this journey. I'm not making that shit up. Those of us that have been to India, you know what it's like. You know what it's like there. But there you go. There's these guys. They're off. They're off on their magical mystery tour, on their magical mystery story, traveling the back roads of Panchavati. The American devotees visit Panchavati Farm. Amazing. Okay, what else we got here? We got here we go. So this is them again, and boy, do they look happy. Let me just say, they actually look miserable. Okay, they look miserable, and I left a comment saying that they look miserable. They look miserable. Oh, he's definitely got the head. He's definitely learned how to nod his head. He's definitely learned that. It didn't take him long to get that move down, because that makes you the more you can act like an Indian, then the more you're advancing. Just like with Gora Hari. Oh, looks yummy. Looks so yummy. Oh, look. So it's kind of like, I'm going to tell you, it reminds me, these things, when I see these guys on these trips and they're on their bus and they're traveling, it reminds me the multi-level marketing cults. The multi-level marketing cults have these conventions, and they get everybody together. Everybody goes, and they give out these awards, and they have like a big breakfast thing or brunch, and they give out awards, and it's like a party. It's like a celebration, and it's basically just brainwashing. It's just basically make you think that if you work hard, you're going to win an award, and you're going to be up on stage, and everyone's going to be clapping for you one day, and it's free. You get to go, and it's like in a hotel, and they have the big ballroom or whatever, and it's kind of fancy. It's kind of fancy, but that's to get you in and kind of brainwash you into going, wow, this is real. There's real people here. It's not a scam. It's a real company. It's a real business. A real job. I'm not just selling stuff out of a U-Haul on the corner. I'm actually part of a real business, and they're giving awards, and people got little trophies, and they got balloons, and they got the whole thing, and it feels like you're in a real business. You're in a real company, and it's not. It's just a scam. It's just a scam, and you know what I'm talking about. That they always have to pay. Well, the one I did was like, I don't think we had to pay. We went because they want you there. It's like they need you there, and it wasn't real fancy, but you dress up and they make it like it's fancy, but you know what I'm talking about. But that's what this is like. It's like they go, okay, we're going to go on this trip, and you're going to go to this temple in Tirupati or Trivandrum or wherever, in blah, 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 blah. And you're going to go, we're going to go there. We're going to go on a tour. You're going to get on a bus. You're going to go on this tour. And then when they get there, and they kind of have like a little red carpet thing for them like this, like, oh, you're going to get prasadam, and you're going to sit on the floor, and you're going to eat off this leaf. You're going to eat off of this leaf. And look, don't they look excited? They look so excited. Oh, he looks happy. Oh, he looks real. he looks so happy. Yeah, he's like, what do you want? What do you want from me? He's laughing at himself. He's like, look at me, I'm sitting here. And the Indian guy's like, I do this all the time, no big deal. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at this guy. He's like, what am I doing? Look at it. That's so funny. It's so funny. God, I can't take it. That is so funny. It is so funny. Oh my goodness. That is. that one was funny. The look on their face. When you're hungry, everything tastes good, even the foot water from your guru. Yeah, I know, man. Can you imagine that? Yeah, this is nuts. It's nuts. Okay, so here we got another one. We got some more white Hindus. Okay, we got, what is this guy? Here we go. Wait a minute. What is this? Fake human. What do you say? Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. Oh yes, yeah. So funny. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Okay, here we go. Let me get this. Let me go back here a little bit because something Something happened.
When you show how much growth has happened and you realize that, the fact that we've gone through so much struggle in ISKCON over the decades and we're still one organization, that in itself is worth celebrating. You have no idea how rare that is. We should have splintered into 14 different groups by now who don't talk to each other. But that's because somehow or other Prabhupada's mercy is flowing and this idea that please stay together and work.
So he's saying, he's I can't believe the brainwashing, the gaslighting of these people.
When you show how much growth has happened and you realize that, the fact that we've gone through so much struggle in ISKCON over the decades and we're still one organization, that in itself is...
The fact that we've had so much struggle, the fact that we've had so much struggle and we're still there, tells you that you guys are fucked up, man. You guys don't understand what's going on. Why are you struggling so much? Why so many gurus falling down? Why so many children abused? Why so much of all of this shit? Why so many suicides? Why so many? Why so many? Why so many? Why so many? Why? They don't get it. They don't understand. These people, and you go, well, Mike, this guy's not a white Hindu. Yes, he is a white Hindu because, and I'll explain it.
What's celebrating? You have no idea how rare that is. We should have splintered into 14 different groups by now who don't talk to each other. But that's because somehow or other Prabhupada's mercy is flowing and this idea that please stay together and work together. And there's enough devotees to keep that thread, and Krishna is that thread holding the pearls. And so I really feel Krishna's presence when we try to strengthen that thread despite the differences between the pearls and recognize that.
Okay. Hey, so your sage is said to be cleansing. Yes, there are some dark entities that are fond of sage as well. I didn't know that. Queen, your secret is safe here. Your secret is safe here. By now we should have 14 different factions. Well, actually, there's like 100 different factions. Every guru is a faction. So, Indra Yumna is a faction. Bhakti Vikash is a faction. So there's like 80, 90 factions, actually, if you want to look at it that way. The reason this guy's a white Hindu is because he's in this white Hindu, this super white super Hindu cult. And so he knows that it's a white Hindu cult, that these gurus and the GBCs are all white guys. The Jayapataka and Satsvarup and all of these guys, Bhavananda and Bhakti Vikash Swami and Indra Yumna Swami and all of these big gurus, they're all white. These guys are all white. Radhanath and even like Devamrita, I think he's black. I think he's African American. But again, it's their proximity to white. They want to be. They're like, I'm next to the white guy. I'm the token in the white guru club. I'm the token in the white guru club. So I'm safe. I'm safe. And that's exactly what they are. They're a token. And this guy is too, all of them. All these Indians, they want to be gurus in the white man's cult because they know the significance of being in this white man's cult. I'm telling you, I know. I can't prove it. I can't prove it. I'm not a sociologist. I don't have the studies. Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, it's hard to figure it out these days. I can't prove it because I'm not a sociologist. I can't prove it, but that's what's going on. And then you've got this whole Indian faction, this Indian faction of ISKCON, who's like, they're like, no, we're the real Hindus. You white Hindus, you white super Hindus, you're no match for us. So there's that going on too. Sacred Space Store. How you doing? How you doing? You want to say something? Or you just come in and check it out? Yeah, a lot of trolls. I don't know. They come in here. They don't. They either don't say anything or they say something stupid, and that's fine. They can. That's basically all they can really do. They can either shut up or they can say something stupid. That's all that's it. They're in a cult. They're in a cult. They don't know how to say anything smart. They don't know how to say anything intelligent. They're over their head. They come in here thinking that they're gonna come in here and they're gonna like debate Vishnu or debate this or what about Christianity or what about, and they don't know what they're in for. They ain't playing on that shit. They don't know what they're in for when they come in here. They're clueless, completely clueless. Here we got another fucking white fucking freak protecting pedophiles, and this guy was this was one of the main guys when the guy got shot in the head. This guy was right in the thick of it. Right in the fucking thick of it.
शिकागो शहर में रिचर्ड नाम के एक बहुत ही
Little
अद्भुत
Dicky
दिव्य
Slavin.
बालक का जन्म होता है। बचपन से ही वो एक प्रश्न के उत्तर ढूंढ रहे थे कि मैं कौन
Oh,
हूँ
what
और
am I?
मेरे इस जीवन
Who
का क्या
am I?
उद्देश्य
What
है।
am I
ये
gonna
प्रश्न
do?
उनको इतना
Oh
विचलित कर
yeah,
रहे
little
थे,
Dicky
इनके उत्तर पाने
Slavin.
की इतनी तीव्र
Little white
व्याकुलता
Dicky
थी
Slavin
कि
had
18
no
साल की
idea. Look,
उम्र
oh,
में
I'll be a
उत्तर पाने की
hippie.
तलाश में बिना
Oh
किसी
yeah, I
पैसे
went to
के घर
India, but
छोड़कर
I didn't know
निकल
what I
जाते
was
हैं। वो
doing.
यूरोप, मिडिल ईस्ट कंट्री से
But I
होते
was
हुए
actually
कई बार
a
अपनी
devotee
जान खतरे
before
में
I
डालकर
became a devotee. I
फाइनली
didn't
भारत
know it.
पहुंचते हैं।
I was
राष्ट्र में
traveling.
क्रिश्चियनिटी, जुदाइज्म, इस्लाम, बुद्धिज्म और
And
कई
I'm
सारे
so
धर्मों को
special. Look
समझते
at
हैं।
me. I'm
फिर
like,
भारत
look,
में
I'm
हिमालय की
already
गुफाओं में कई सारे
a
योगियों के
guru.
साथ रहते
I
हैं और
was a
भारत में
guru before I even knew I was a guru.
अलग जगह विचरण करते हुए कई सारे साधुओं संतों ऋषि मुनियों से मिलते हैं और फिर वो एक बहुत मिस्टीरियस तरीके से वृंदावन पहुंच जाते हैं। श्रील प्रभुपाद जी से मिलते हैं, कृष्ण भक्ति के बारे में सुनते हैं, पढ़ते हैं और बचपन से जिन प्रश्नों के उत्तर पाने की व्याकुलता थी वो समाप्त हो जाती है। अब ये रिचर्ड
Yeah, because I'm not talking about your stupid books. I'm not talking about your stupid books and your stupid gurus. So of course you can't hear anything intelligent because you don't have the brain power. You're brainwashed. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. You want to hear about fairy tales and demigods, and you want to hear about demon heads eating the moon. You don't want to hear about little 12-year-old girls getting married to 19-year-old men. You don't want to hear about how Prabhupada had an 11-year-old wife when he was 22 years old, and he said that she didn't know how to have sex with him, and so she was crying. And when he took her hand, over time, she learned not to cry. She learned to just shut up and take it. You don't want to hear about that. Do you have anything to say about that? Have you got anything to say about that? Oh my. Oh my. Like you didn't know. These fucking assholes, man. You want to say something now? You want to say something now? You want to say something stupid? Is that intelligent enough for you? Was that intelligent enough? Did you understand that? Did you understand that? What the fuck am I talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Prabhupada had an 11-year-old wife when he was 22 years old. You don't know that? Are you that stupid? Are you that fucking stupid? Are you that fucking stupid that you don't know? Prabhupada had an 11-year-old wife when he was 22 years old. What the fuck are you talking about? This is why you get blocked. Because you won't answer the question about Prabhupada's 11-year-old wife. You want to answer the question about Prabhupada's 11-year-old wife? You think that was good? You think it was good? Huh? Well, speak up and say it. Speak up and say Prabhupada was wrong having a 12-year-old wife. Just say it. Say it. What? You can't hear me? What, are you fucking stupid? What are you stupid? I'm telling you, Prabhupada had an 11-year-old wife when he was 22 years old, and you got nothing to say about that. All you can do is sit there and say, well, I don't hear anything intelligent. You're not telling me anything. Isn't these fucking idiots, man? Whose sacred space doesn't want to answer about the 12-year-old wives and the 11-year-old wife? Why don't they want to answer? Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm trying to get shit set up, but YouTube's dragging their feet. I don't know. I appreciate it, man. I'm excited about the whole thing. I want to know more about this person. See, these people, when they want to come in here and talk about, oh, you're not saying anything, and then I say a whole bunch, and then they act like I didn't say anything. I've said it like 4 times. They don't want to talk about it. This is the bullshit. This is the bullshit. They want to talk about demigods, and they want to talk about this and that, but they don't want to talk about anything important, like fucking child abuse and fucking gurus molesting little kids and then sticking up for each other. They don't want to talk about that. A bunch of ignorant trolls. Yeah, come in here, and all they do is they show their ass to the world. They just show their ass to the world, like that Tarun Govindadas. And basically, that's a lot of why I put this shit up there, so they can come in here and show the world their ass. Just drop your pants and show your ass to the world. Show the world how fucking brainwashed you are, and all your responses are the same. Every fucking show, you trolls come in here, you say the same shit. You avoid the question, you don't answer, and you fucking act a fool. That's what they do every time. Every fucking time. Yeah, who's your guru? They won't say. They won't say. Okay, yeah, yeah, it's been taking a little while, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, see, they come in, they don't know what they're talking about. They come in here, they hear shit from me, they freak out, then they go find out that what I'm saying is right, and then they shut up, and then they shut the fuck up, and they go away, and we never hear from them again. Okay, so yeah, Narayan Maharaj was another fucking fraud. He's another big fraud, just like all of them. All of them. With their 12-year-old wives and their pedophile gurus. Yeah, and they're always so mad too. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they're not. And that's the thing is they're not holy people. They're not spiritually minded. They're not at all. They think that because they're reading these books, and this is the truth. This is the truth. They think that because they're reading these books and they're following their 4 regulative principles and they're washing their guru's feet, they think they're spiritually advanced, like there's some kind of holy man. They really do. They're delusional. They think that they've got some kind of holy aura around them, and that something makes them. I'm holy. I'm a holy guy. I'm this holy man. Look at him. I'm a holy man.
न्यास लेकर राधानाथ स्वामी बन जाते हैं। आज इनके मिलियंस ऑफ फॉलोअर्स हैं। उसके अलावा फार्म कम्युनिटीज, टेंपल्स, हॉस्पिटल्स, स्कूल,
I can bless people. I can
बहुत
do good things by chanting these special words. It's super Hindu. I'm a super fucking Hindu. That's what they think.
प्रोजेक्ट के जरिए कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं। श्रील राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज की जय। 7 दिसंबर 1950।
And the racism that they think that everybody around the world should bow down to them, and nobody can worship God or understand God unless they have one of these white fucking super Hindu gurus. Look, he's even got he had right here, where is it? Right here at the end. See, even the Indians The Indians got to bow down to the white man. Because he's Tarzan. He's the best white Hindu there is. There's no white Hindu better than him. And if you're an Indian, you can't go back to God or practice Krishna consciousness or be a real Hindu unless you worship the white super fucking Hindu. You gotta worship the white super Hindu. It's not enough that you were born in India and you were born into Hinduism and you know you've been worshiping God and worshiping Vishnu or Shiva or whoever since you were a little kid. That doesn't matter. You gotta worship this guy. You gotta worship this fucking white Dickie Slavin. That's what you gotta do. And look, he's brainwashed and I'm gonna worship little Dickie Slavin and my 12-year-old wife over here too. Well, she's not 12 anymore. She's 22, but 10 years ago she was 12. Oh, man. Bhakti Vikas Swami said people born in India receive a higher birth. Yeah, but they still got to surrender to him. So you don't have to surrender to him? You don't have to surrender to Bhakti Vikas? You don't have to surrender to Bhakti Vikas? Indians don't have to surrender to Bhakti Vikas because they took a higher birth? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you want me to believe? Yes, 12-year-old wives, man. Gone over this so many times. Yeah, the guy is a scammer. The guy's a full-on scammer. There's a YouTube video about this Radhanath. He had taken over somebody's apartment and not returning it. I believe it. I'd believe anything. I would believe that he took somebody's foot and won't return it. Yeah, they're all insane, and we get to see their insanity and their craziness in real time. In real time, we get to see how they don't answer questions. We can see how they lie. We can see how they're dishonest. We ask them who their guru is, and they won't tell us. We ask them if they're into the 12-year-old wives. They won't comment on that. We ask them about the abuse. They won't comment on that. They won't comment on any of that. I ask them about the gurus that are molesting little kids. They won't comment on that. They just won't comment on it. And not one of them has said anything. All these trolls, there's like 30 trolls in here. There's like 30 trolls in here. Not one of them will speak up. They won't speak up and deny it. They won't speak up and denounce it. They won't speak up and say and admit that they are for it. They won't say that. They won't. It's so easy there is so easy for them to come in here and say, I think Prabhupada was wrong when he married an 11-year-old girl, and I think he was wrong to tell that guy to marry that 12-year-old girl. And I think he was wrong when he put it in the Bhagavatam. That's all he's got to say. All he got to say is Prabhupada was wrong when he said women have small brains. Prabhupada was wrong when he said that women like to be raped. That's all they got to do. That's all they got to do. But they can't. They can't do it. Here's another one. Here's another one. You can't do it, Bobby. Love it or leave it. No, it's not love it or leave it. There's no loving and leaving it. Not with all the harm that it does. After everything I've said for the last 10 minutes, Bobby Brooks comes in here. He won't address anything that I've said, but he's gonna come in and say this. Oh, if you don't like all our pedophile abuse, you don't like all our molester gurus, you don't like all our domestic abuse, you don't like our philosophy that women have small brains, you don't like any of that, well, just leave. Just leave then. Just leave. We don't have to be normal human beings if we don't want to. If you don't like how we treat our kids and you don't like how we treat our women and you don't like our philosophy, then just leave. I mean, this really exposes them. I mean, bring them all in. I mean, I'll do this all night. I'll do this. I'll go another hour if I can bring a couple more of these friggin' idiots in here and have them have them pull down their pants and show their ass to the world. Come on in here, show your ass to the world. Come in here and show your ass to the world. No, you don't want to do that. Let's go back to some more videos. I got a lot of videos. I'm going to do some more videos, and I've gone a long time, but you know what? I'm still going to. I think she was 13. She might have been 12 or 13. You can't believe a lot of things that they say. I believe him when he says she was 11 because he don't know any better. But I think they want to clean it up. But you know, she may have been as if 14 isn't bad enough. You know, I want to make it worse, but 14 is already bad. But I'm just being honest with you. I think she was younger. Because they're brainwashed. They're brainwashed. And I was doing it too. I was brainwashed. Excuse me. Yeah, I know. I gotta push late because all the hilarious trolls online. I mean, I don't want to end it now. I want to show some more. I got some more videos. So, what do I got? I got here. So here's one. We'll look at this piece of shit himself.
Aéroport de Genève-Cointrin. Bhaktivedanta Swami, 80 ans, fondateur et maître spirituel du mouvement Hare Krishna, est accueilli par ses disciples. À Rome, il vient de rencontrer le pape Paul VI. À Genève, il dialoguera avec les directeurs de plusieurs organisations internationales.
So there he is. So there he is. The man himself, the piece of shit himself, who thought that he could just turn all of these people into super white Hindus. That he was so powerful that he could take all of these stupid fucks, these hippies, these drug addicts, these whatever the fuck they were, and he thought that he was so powerful that he was like he himself was a super Hindu, and he was such a super Hindu that he could take these fucks over here, all these fucking idiots, all of these idiots here, and he thought he could turn them into super Hindus. He thought he could turn them into super Hindus, and then he was gonna turn them into super Hindus, and then the whole world was gonna bow down to his white super Hindus. That's what he thought. That's what he's a super Hindu. He thought he was the ultimate super Hindu, and he was gonna turn them all into super Hindus. Yeah, and some of those like white dhoti when we're done, it could be Indra Yumna Swami. Yeah, it does look like him a little bit. And as you can see, some of those guys did become super Hindus. They super Hindus. I have an ISKCON super Hindu. Yeah. So it's so funny, man. It's so goofy. It's so goofy. Okay, so we got. Okay, let me see. What do we got? Okay, then we got another the arrival of the super Hindus, man. I got to turn the audio down because I don't want to get a copyright strike on this. What happened here? Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is. Oh, the super Hindu. There he is. There he is. There he is. Oh my God. There he is. There's a super Hindu right there. That's Paz's guru. So our friend Paz, who comes in here, lost his brother to this cult. He lost his brother to this guy, and it's very real. Okay. So I know we laugh, we joke, we have fun. But this is very real. Paz's brother. That our friend who comes in here, and he lost his brother to this cult, and this is his brother's guru. His brother fell under the spell, under this guy. He's brainwashed. Paz's brother's brainwashed by this guy into thinking that this guy is a super Hindu and is going to take Paz's brother back to Godhead. And who knows what he's got him believing. So it's real. We sit here and we laugh, we joke, and it is funny. But I'm not gonna lie. It's funny. We laugh, we joke, and we make fun. But at the same time, as funny as it is, as goofy and as whatever, it's still very evil and very sinister. And sometimes we forget that, but it is very evil and sinister, and this is just proof. This is just an example of, and these guys are predators. These guys are looking for 12-year-old wives. These guys are Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Worshipping the white super Hindus. Yeah, it's Indra. Yeah, it looks just like him. I mean, it looks like a young Indra Yumna. It's pretty ridiculous. Yes, Devamrita Swami. He's a henchman of Kirtananda from West Virginia. Him and Radhanath and Umapati and some other ones. It's man, the super Hindus, man. The super Hindus. Okay, I still got some more. I think there's some more trolls. I'm gonna keep going a little bit longer. Let me see, to see if we get some more troll action in here. I don't fear the troll. I don't fear the trolls. Okay, we saw that one. What do we got here? Of course, thanks to Rafal for these videos. So this says TV Krishna Network, Alfred Ford. So this is a grandson of Henry Ford. Was a devotee. He's a devotee of Prabhupada. And this is the temple that they're building. They're wasting all that money on. All the money that they scam, they building this big temple in Mayapur where all their pedophiles hang out. What do we got? A troll in here? Yeah, we are too. That's what we're doing here. So I'm glad you're happy for that. That makes me happy. It's hard to tell these trolls. Who knows? Who knows, man? They don't. I'm gonna tell you one thing. They don't care about anybody but themselves. So they don't care that children have been harmed. They don't care that people have committed suicide. They don't care that women have been abused and married and abused and then married off, and then that they don't care about any of that. They don't care that gurus are caught molesting little kids. They don't care about any of that. They don't care that gurus are protecting each other. They don't care. They just don't care. And let me show you. This is what. And again, we'll go back to Epstein. We'll go back to Epstein Island and everything, right? We'll go back to Epstein Island, and so here is. Here is what somebody posted online. I took a screenshot. And so just remember that ISKCON, Bhakti Vikash Swami, one of the leaders of ISKCON, he said he doesn't care that gurus are molesting children. He doesn't care. And that he doesn't care if he loses followers. He doesn't care if he loses disciples. That he protects pedophiles. He protects these gurus that have molested children. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. So now this is what's on the internet. I took the screenshot, and it says it was on the internet. It was on on Threads. Somebody posted this on Threads, and it's saying, if the president invites you to the White House or the State of the Union address, you go. And then this guy, this James Feller, he's an author, and he replied, if a pedophile invited me anywhere, I tell them to fuck off. So that's what you do. That's the normal response. That's the normal response. Okay? You don't protect them. You don't protect them. You don't excuse them. You don't apologize for them. You make friends with them. You don't go to their birthday party. You don't go hang out with them. You don't say, this is the sweetest Swami you're ever going to meet. You don't do that. You say, you're a pedophile. You're a molester guru. You've been molesting the children that you're supposed to be in charge. You're supposed to be in charge of their spiritual life, and you're molesting these little kids, abusing these little kids. No. I'm not going to your birthday party. I'm not having anything to do with you. I'm telling you to fuck off. But not ISKCON. ISKCON is the opposite. Oh, we don't tell them to fuck off. We think it's great. We don't care. Why should we care? Why should Bhakti Vikash Swami care? Here's another one. So, because I want, I'm old enough to remember a time when if a man was openly sexually interested in 12-year-old girls, he could expect every man in his town to hunt him down like a werewolf instead of subscribing to his podcast. That's what I'm talking about. This is what normal people that want to protect children, people that want to protect women and children, this is what they think. They don't say, hey, I have to forgive this guy, and I'm going to go to his birthday party, and I'm going to get him a sweater, and I'm going to wash his feet, and I'm going to tell everybody to worship this guy like he's God. No. What the fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with these people? So, yeah, I don't know. I can't keep up with all these. Yeah, Ghost Goblin. I don't know what Ghost Goblin is saying. It sounds like he's just trying to. I don't know, Ghost Goblin. I don't know. I think you're trying to. I think you're just trying to bait. I think you're trying to bait us. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think you're trying to bait us into some kind of weird, trying to bait us into some kind of, I don't know, distract from what's going on. But that is how people deal. That is how normal people deal with predators. How normal people deal with pedophiles. That is how you're supposed to think. That is how you're supposed to think about predators. Not, oh, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I have to forgive them, and not only forgive them, but actually, just go party around with them. Party around with them and tell people that they're pure devotees. Yeah, they want to act like they're with the program, and I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I don't care. It just, I'm ignoring them, but like they think we're stupid. Okay, so it did that one. Let me get a couple more, because if they don't want to actually have a conversation, like if you want to come in and you want to have a conversation, just tell us who your guru is. Tell us if you're down with a child marriage. Tell us if Prabhupada was wrong. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do is say Prabhupada was wrong, and they won't do it. Okay, let's see whether there's another one. Some more. I think some more white Hindus. Yeah, they are, and that's good. That's good, because more people see it. Someone's gonna see it, and they're gonna wake up. I already know. I had people tell me that when I first started. When I first started doing this, someone came in and said, "Hey, well, I'm glad I saw your video, because I almost joined a temple and I didn't know any of this stuff was going on." So that was almost 2 years ago. So I know other people are seeing it, and not everybody's going to comment and speak out and say anything. So just like they give out books and they don't know what happens. I make videos. I don't know what's gonna happen. But let's see. I think we got another one, another live one here. I don't know what this is. Here we go. So more of their scamming where they can go in and feed little kids and give them a book and try to groom these kids into becoming devotees, and so that they can have replace the kids that they can't keep. See, they can't keep kids they can't keep their own kids. So they go out and they preach to schools. They preach to schools. They preach to remote villages and anywhere where these kids are, where they can reach these kids, and they give them, they give them meals, they give them food, and they give them books, and they hope that they can groom a couple of these kids into becoming devotees. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, because we know how they treat their children. And we know how they don't care. And we know how it's all karma. And they don't give a fuck. And they traffic these kids. Who knows? These kids could end up joining this cult. And you don't know where they're going to, you don't know where they're going to end up. Serious. I'm serious. You want to talk about Epstein Island? Look at this. You want to come in here and talk about Epstein Island? And they're grooming these little kids with food and books. It's exactly what they're doing. It's exactly what they're doing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if they told them you can't preach to these kids and you can't distribute one book, but you can come distribute all the food that you want, they wouldn't go. They wouldn't care. They'd say, no, we'll go distribute our food somewhere where we can give out books. If we can't give out books, we don't want to give you food. That's what they would say. They don't ever give out food without handing out books. Ever. Like, why you gotta preach to these children? Why don't you go preach to some adults that have money that can give donations? Why are you trying to preach to all these little kids? Why are these little kids so important? Why can't you preach to them when they're grown? Why can't you wait till they're grown to preach to them? No, you want to get to them early. You want to get to them early, give them a book, get them hooked. You want to get them hooked on this shit. You want to get them hooked on it when they're a little kid, like a drug. I'm telling you. You want to get them hooked on it. I'm glad you're out too. If you're really out, I think you're a troll. But honestly, I think you're a troll. But if you're not, I'm glad you're out. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, so we did that one. I think I'm gonna do like one. I'm gonna do like one more video, guys. I'm gonna do one more video. I'm gonna do one more video. Let's see what this is. More of the same. More of the same. Okay, hold on. This is exactly like what we just saw. I don't know who this guy is. This is someone I've never seen before, I don't think. Oh. Another super Hindu. Another super Hindu getting ready to super Hindu his way. Oh, here he goes. He's super Hinduing right now as we speak. There he goes. Oh my God. Doesn't that look... It's like, who died? I didn't know we were going to a funeral. I thought we were doing chant and be happy. Actually, we're chanting and we're at a funeral now. I didn't know we were at a funeral. I thought this was supposed to be, it was supposed to be have some fun. No. We're gonna chant like someone died. Here we go.
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunati.
Now, does that look exciting or what? Is that isn't that just so spiritual? It's so spiritual. He looks like he's about to fall asleep. He looks like he can barely stay awake. This guy, and and I'm going to tell you right now. So he is a super Hindu, but he's a brown. I don't know how to explain this. He's a brown Hindu in the white super Hindu cult. So that's like I said, like I've always said, they've all got to have their niche Ananda. They got to have their niche Ananda. So his niche is that he's a Hindu in the white Hindu, in the group of white Hindus, he's a brown one. So he's a brown white super Hindu. You get it? So he's not just a white super Hindu, he's a brown white super Hindu. I know it's all a bunch of scam, and it's all it's a whole cult of this. It's a whole cult of just worshiping each other and worshiping the guru and my guru and your guru and this Swami Maharaj and that Swami Maharaj, and oh, my guru is a pure devotee and my guru is a pure devotee and that guru fell down because he's in Maya, but my guru is pure devotee and he's a Prabhupada disciple, so he's right there, and it's just it's insanity. It's insanity. It's insanity.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Exactly.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Am I the only one who gives a shit about the rules? Seriously. So listen, everybody, it's been so much fun, and Transcendental Russian Roulette. Yeah, that's funny, and that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Are you a Narayan Mahafra disciple? You were all trying to figure out who this ghost goblin is. Yeah, I have some cartels. Well, I bought a bunch of cartels on my last trip to India because this little kid came up and he was selling them. And I was like, how much are they? And he's like 7 rupees. There's some ridiculous price. And I was like, just give me all of them. Just so he could have the day off. I was like, I'll buy them all. And then you got the rest of the day off. So I was like, 50 rupees. And I got like 8 things. They're like those really cheap ones that are made out of like pig iron that's spray painted gold. Yeah, you could be Swami Mommy. Swami Mommy, yeah. It's pretty funny. So, yeah, we're all Swamis then. We're all Swamis, man. There's nothing, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, thanks. Hey, yeah, absolutely. It's great when you come in and join us because you're like our cult person who's not a Hare Krishna. We're all Hare Krishnas here, and you're like you're the cult expert that's like, hey, I see cult activity. I detect boop 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 boop. I detect cult activity. So that's great. I love it. And everybody in here, Gora Hoodie says, thanks to everybody. I want to thank my producer, Rafal, for all the great videos, and Ghana6781, a Queen of Karma, of course, and my moderator, Eliana, and all the trolls, and, of course, Fake Human. You got the brown. What shade? What shade is okay? I'm not sure which shade is right. Fake Human and Hayden, of course, and Weird Planet, and Operation Crossroads, and Ghost Goblin. I hope you're sincere and you're getting out and you're getting the help you need. Prabhu Nuts, of course. It's always good to see you in here. And who else is in here? I got to go all the way back just to see because I can't remember. Tim, Jeff Smith, and I think Tim was in here, and Dahlia Roberts, of course. And who else? I don't know. I think I got everybody. Wow was in here, and N, call me N, was here, and all of you guys. It's great. If I missed you and I didn't read your name, I'll get you next. I'll get you twice next time on that. And so I had a lot of fun. I'm telling you, it's so much fun. And Ghost Goblin, seriously, come back, man. I really want to see you join in and be. I see coercive control. I know, that's so funny. So Ghost Goblin, come back. Agora Hoodie says, come back, and and we'll do this again. So hey, everybody, please have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. Have some great luck, and really, I appreciate you guys too, man. I really do so much. You make this so incredible for me. Everybody have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. Snoggle, yes, of course. I can't forget Snoggle, and so for all you new people out there, here I am. Once upon a time, when I was once a Hare Krishna. So everybody, thanks everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe. You gotta like, because the trolls are giving me thumbs down, and I really got to counteract that. So everybody, please like, share, and subscribe. And here I am as a Hare Krishna. Thanks everybody.